This time we're going to be taking a look at the origins of artificial intelligence.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I know, right? It's a big one. And we're going to be referencing an article called On the Origins of Artificial Species.
Okay.
So as you know, people always think of AI as this sort of modern invention, but as we're going to see, humans have been grappling with this concept for a very, very long time. Let's talk about these cave paintings that the article talks about. Some of them date back 40,000 years. 40,000 BCE, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So these early artists were already blending animal and human forms together. What do you think they were trying to say with these hybrid figures?
It's tough to say for sure, of course. But one idea is that they were exploring the very nature of intelligence.
Okay.
Were they thinking about a type of intelligence that went beyond just one species? And while these philosophical debates were happening, another crucial development was taking shape: the birth of modern computing. In the mid-19th century, Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace designed what they called the analytical engine, a blueprint for a general-purpose computer.
Wow.
This machine, theoretically, could perform any calculation that could be expressed mathematically.
That blows my mind. The seeds of the digital revolution being planted right in the middle of the Industrial Revolution. Incredible. And from there, the pace of progress just keeps accelerating, leading us right into the world of modern AI in the 20th century.
And one of the most important moments happened in 1950. Alan Turing, this brilliant mathematician, he was also a code breaker. He came up with something called the imitation game, which is what we call the Turing Test today.
The Turing Test, right.
Yeah.
That's where a machine tries to trick a human into thinking it's also human, right?
Exactly. It's a thought experiment that gets at the heart of what we mean by thinking, intelligence, all of that.
Right.
Can a machine really think? If it can fool a human into believing it, can have a conversation and reason like we do. The Turing Test started decades of debate.
Wow.
And it's still a benchmark for AI research. And then just a few years later, in 1956, the term artificial intelligence was officially born at the Dartmouth Conference.
Oh, wow.
So this conference brought together some of the leading experts in the field. And that's really where AI, as a formal field of study, began.
Okay.
It was a time of a lot of optimism. Researchers believed that building machines with human-level intelligence was, just a matter of time.
So from thinking about it philosophically to setting research goals, the stage was set for this whole AI revolution.
Well, in the 1980s and 90s, this new approach emerged called machine learning.
Okay.
So instead of pre-programmed rules, machine learning algorithms let computers learn from data. It was a huge change.
So instead of telling the machine what to do step by step,
Right.
you give it tons of data and let it figure things out itself.
Yeah, and one of the big innovations within machine learning was the development of artificial neural networks. These networks were inspired by how the human brain works, with all those interconnected nodes that process information simultaneously.
Right.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, we saw the rise of big data and deep learning.
Right.
Deep learning is basically machine learning on a massive scale.
Okay.
It uses enormous data sets and complex neural networks with lots of layers to do incredible things with pattern recognition and prediction. This led to huge breakthroughs in image recognition, natural language processing, even self-driving cars. Well, in 2018, OpenAI created GPT, a language model that was a big jump for natural language processing.
Right, GPT.
GPT could write human-quality text, translate languages, even create different kinds of content. It paved the way for the chatbots and language models we use all the time now.
GPT was a big deal.
Well, AGI is basically the idea of an AI that's as smart as a human. An AI that can learn, reason, and solve problems in any area, just like we can. Wouldn't be limited to specific tasks. It would be flexible and adaptable, able to handle new challenges, and even come up with creative solutions we might not have thought of.
So it's not just about a machine that can play chess or recognize a cat in a picture. It's about creating something that can truly think, understand, and interact with the world.
One big concern is jobs. As AI gets more advanced, it could start doing a lot of the work that humans do now. That could lead to lots of people losing their jobs and a lot of social unrest if we're not prepared.
That's definitely something to think about. We've already seen automation changing industries, and AGI could really accelerate that. We need to figure out how to get ready for those changes and make sure everyone benefits from AI.